Hi everybody, welcome to the second process video of this drawing here. Now here I'm just trying to solidify some of the columns here, sort of get the center part of the composition all worked out. And here just finishing the forearm here, this old guy. Now I know I want a lot of this sort of highlighted here, so I'll go in and add a couple darks and sort of hit up the modeling on the figures here in the cups. I know I'm going to fill this out more, but as of now, I'll just kind of add the columns, and then I'm going to start adding the figures on the right and left side of the composition here, as you can see here. And these are just some of the people that I took pictures of while I was there. I took a bunch of photos, and some of them I feel really go well with the composition, like this couple here. She's checking her phone and he's kind of around her. There's a lot of looking at phones in museums nowadays. And the main goal of the people was just add this sort of chain link composition of people to sort of move your eye around the composition. This guy ends up sitting on one of the center aisles here in the museum. And I know I want some sculptures and some paintings around there as well, sort of condense the scene there. So, you know, I might add a sculpture like right there, right? And this guy in the background here is waiting with his wife or something, and they're waiting to go upstairs to the upper level of the gallery. And I definitely want different busts and things around, different sculptures sort of littering the composition of the drawing as well. This guy is pretty cool. This is sort of a chaperone. There's a bunch of kids in the original photo I took, just sort of, he's helping all these kids along, but this one I just felt needed this. And it was really hot that day, I remember, so this guy's wearing a full brim hat. It was really hot, actually. And these guys are just sitting there, and they're taking a picture of the hallway, but really they're right next to a big giant sculpture on the left of the drawing here, and so I thought it was appropriate to have this guy sort of adjusting his camera, looking at the sculpture. You'll see here in a minute. But yeah, this woman's on her phone, sitting by the stairs, sort of in the middle where there's seating. But yeah, this is the guy sort of pulling up his glasses, sort of adjusting the camera. Sort of an iconic pose here. And if you're wondering, the speed of which I've captured myself drawing is about 6x. So I do draw fast, but this is obviously way faster. And this was a sculpture that was to the right of the stairwell that was facing the original painting. This lady's sculpted out of marble, I believe. And as I put the line here, I'm overlapping. I want to put a big profile of a portrait there to sort of give way to the space and the depth, and that you're kind of overlooking the tops of people here to put the grand painting in view. And this sculpture here is really awesome. This is like a dark marble sculpture. I guess it's David slaying Goliath. Under him there's sort of curvy hair, and that's David's head there. So as I continue this drawing, I start to label certain shapes with a more darker tone because I know I want to have a more darker value there in the picture. So if I want to, I just go ahead and label that as such. That way I don't forget my train of thought there. Now when I draw, I also use straight edges. I feel it adds an element of crisp element to the picture because I use all these kind of warbly lines and stuff. So if I use a straight edge, it's sort of this mechanical look, this different sort of vocabulary mixed with the hand-drawn lines that I also draw with. Now, one great thing about the Orsay Museum is that I believe it was an old hangar. So this is very apparent when you go inside. It's very dome shape. I guess it might have been a hangar for blimps and stuff. But here, this wall here I'm creating, yeah, you can go up there and look down. But me personally, I'm thinking of adding a couple paintings on the right side here to sort of give another element to a gallery there. And these tiles up on the curved roof here, the ceiling, they're really neat. They're really intricate. I don't know how old they are, but they're really fun. And a lot of light comes in through these windows here during the day. It adds a lot of great lighting to the gallery. But I find a lot of fun, intricate patterns are a really good way to add a lot of interest to the drawing because you can really draw each piece of the pattern kind of differently, but if they're all systematically drawn in neat shapes, it kind of brings it all together pretty well. So pretty much I'm just drawing on the ceiling here, the grid, trying to add that curved sort of approach into the background here. Now I'm going to morph somehow the painting and the background, so I'll put the gold frame in there somewhere. I haven't decided how yet, but as I get more of the drawing revealed to me, I will make that choice accordingly. Now you can see here I've kind of used the fisheye perspective to wrap that ceiling around. Now this is a close-up of one of the top figures here in the original painting, just on the left here, sort of in the pillars. And back to the ceiling tiles here. So as I get this done, it's kind of monotonous here, but the more you get done, the better the picture will be. So I continue to draw those. But yeah, that's it on this little update here. I should have another video soon, but this is how this is going on this drawing. Feel free to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments. If you're curious about the things I draw with or the paper, it's just a big piece of watercolor paper, and this is like a refillable Japanese ink pen with a very fine nib on it. I think carbon platinum ink. Yeah. Alrighty, well thank you. See you in the next video.